Have you heard the story of Modupe Oyetosho? They shot at her friend, and Modupe was kidnapped. It happened in Lanlate. She is a farmer. He was a farmer. On their way from the farm, tragedy struck. Who will wipe Modupe's tears? Kule Jimba, will you wipe Modupe's tears? Will you wipe Modupe's tears?
Good morning, Edmund. It's actually unfortunate what happened to that lady. I listened to the program last week, and it further reinforces the trend we are seeing currently, where the young minds, the middle class, are migrating away from Nigeria. Just this morning, you hear youth saying, I need visa. Nigeria is no longer a country. Nigeria used to be a country, but not anymore.
Not anymore. I recommend a book to you. There Was a Country, a personal history of Biafra, written by Chinua Achebe. There Was a Country. Kunle Jimba is the author of the book, The Switch, Perspective to Success. Why did you write this book, Kunle?
Sometimes in 2018, I had a discussion with a young professional. He just graduated, joined the employment, and we're discussing about life generally. So I discovered that his perception about success was somewhat thwarted. He was already looking at things people that had spent about 20 years in service had acquired. And this is someone who just joined for less than 3 months.
He was ambitious.
He was ambitious. So he was running ahead of his own race. He had no clear cut of what he is meant to do at every point in time and the steps he's meant to climb.
But he has seen people who do little and make so much money.
That's the perverse in our society, and that's why we need to correct all these ills. Honestly.
You are a banker.
Yes, I am.
You see a lot of money every day. How does it make you feel?
Well, if you're not you will get carried away, and you get carried away with the illusion of getting rich syndrome.
You said reading.
Yes, reading.
What does reading do to the mind?
Reading enriches the mind. Reading is the food of the mind. For you to build your mind, there's a connection between your mind and your soul. In your soul, you have the mind, you have the heart working. Now, 3 things happens in the soul. You have intelligence, you have reason, and then you have passion. Intelligence and reason, they belong to the mind. Passion comes from the heart. So if you do not feed that mind with things that are constructive, with things that are positive, you channel your passion to the wrong thing. And that is why you have the likes of young boys channeling their passion to yahoo and channeling their passion to things that are not constructive in the world. And that is why you have militancy, because they fed their mind with wrong things. Militancy developed into insurgency and later metamorphosed into what we call terrorism in the country. It is because people are not reading, or they are perhaps reading the wrong things. If you go into our society today, you can read the positives and you can read the negatives. Like you just mentioned, someone just started work. What he's reading is the achievement of people who have worked for over 20 years. But what he's not understanding is the toil, is the effort that they've put into their life, into their career to achieve those things. So he's just seeing those things there and he feels, oh, it's something I can get within the twinkle of an eye.
Let's look at this together. Albert Einstein says imagination is more powerful than knowledge. Will Rogers says everybody is ignorant only on different subjects.
Yes, that's very correct. Imagination is very, very powerful because it comes from your innate ability. It is what you think of. It is what your mind can reproduce. And there's a saying that says whatever the mind can conceive, it can always achieve. So imagination is very powerful.
Let's look at this together. The point of teaching is to control your own mind. Restrain your mind from greed, and you will keep your body right. Your mind pure and your words faithful. Always thinking of the transiency of your life, you'll be able to desist from greed and anger and will be able to avoid all evils. This is coming from Gautama Buddha.
I wonder if our politicians or our leaders can actually memorize this phrase such that it sinks into them, and then they will behave differently when they get to position of power. When you read, when your thought, it purifies your actions. It guides your behavior. You understand? That people, you wonder, someone who is a professor, a renowned person in the society, suddenly gets power. And within 6 months, this person is totally corrupted. Now, there's no way you can exonerate yourself as a leader when things are going wrong under you, because you have the moral obligation to set the record straight. And that is what is unfortunate in our society today.
On page 8 of your book, you talk about the process to self-discovery. Tell me more.
Process to self-discovery, it's very simple because everything starts from the mind. It's garbage in, garbage out. Whatever you feed your mind in is what you produce as a person. So if you look at chapter 1 of that book that says, "Who are you?" Everything starts with that. If you cannot define who you are, if you cannot define yourself in the context of the environment where you found yourself, it is most unlikely for you to succeed.
So how do I discover myself?
That is by researching and reading. That guides you. When you research, when you read, you can dimension the things that has happened in the past. Like you always say that everybody should go back to history. Everybody should go and rediscover what has happened in the generations before me, ahead of me. How do I know who I am? If you take a lot of books and you read, you will discover that, oh, this has actually happened. This was the way it was solved. We talked about the Nigerian Civil War. As anybody in this country or contemporary people nowadays, do they even bother to go into history to see what happened to Nigeria between 1960, 1963, 1965, up to First Republic and up to this republic where we are? Do we even bother to find out where we got it wrong at all? And if you don't know where you've missed it, it is unlikely for you to find a solution in the future.
Your book also talks about the characteristics of success.
Yes.
So how do I know a successful person?
Well, for you to know a successful person, there are various characteristics of success. One is that there are misconceptions about success. Everybody cannot be Bill Gates. Everybody cannot be Dangote. Everybody cannot be Edmund Obilo. So you have to set your own standards. And when you set your own standards, this will help you not to run another person's race. So you can then monitor your own stepping stones. You can monitor your own milestones. You can monitor your own achievement based on the standards you've set for yourself. So it is very important for you to know how successful you are. Then you must be able to say, I've set for myself these 10 steps. Now I'm on level 1, I'm on level 2, I'm on level 3. That is the only way you can set your own standard and achieve your own success. Otherwise, you will see success as a mirage. You just keep chasing it and it keeps going further. You keep chasing and it keeps going further because you really don't have a standard that you are following on.
On the front page of The Guardian, 10 dead, 5 rescued, 4 missing in Lagos boat mishap. Buhari pledges more resources to deal with insecurity. President Buhari reminds me of insecurity. Whenever Buhari talks about insecurity, I remember Babagana Zulum, the governor of Borno State, gunshot in Baga.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Yes, that was gunshot as the governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Zulum, was making his way into Baga town. And he was confronted with those shots. After he came out safely, after he came to safety, he accused the military of complicity in that attack. He was angry. He was very angry. And he took on the commanding officer.
The shooting that has happened this afternoon is between the Nigerian military, maybe, and our police officers.
No. We did the clearance, me and the sector commander. No. We saw where they were. And
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Speaking on the attack, Zulum says, as far as I'm concerned, what happened in Baga is complete sabotage by the military. There is no Boko Haram in Baga. Kunle, what do you think?
This is shocking, like in a war film. Gunshot. If a governor could be attacked in such a manner, there was a hope for a common man in Borno State. This is really, really shocking. And now, you see, last week we heard the story of Army General, the C is saying that if Nigerians want this war to end, it can end now. I consider that statement irresponsible because they've been given all the resources to end this war, and we still keep seeing that this war is being escalated day in, day out. A governor attacked in the broad daylight, then there's no hope for common man in Borno State.
And I must commend the channel's journalists that captured the scene. You could see the way they were trying to smuggle the governor into the armored vehicle. You know, how can your book help solve the national problem?
This is a tricky question. 7 chapters followed each other chronologically. If we take a cue from the first chapter to the last chapter, we can actually start what we call a national reorientation in the society. Chapter 1 says, who are you? Can you define yourself? When you move to chapter 2, it says, what do you want? If you can define yourself to say, this is who I am, then you can start to set your own aspiration. As a country, do we even know who we are in the community of nations around the world? Nigerians are doing exploits all over the world. How come it is a different story when it comes to Nigeria? Nigerians are excelling all over the world. How come when they come to Nigeria, it is a different ballgame, we can't excel? That means we don't even know who we are as a nation. What do you want? When you can define yourself, then you can say, this is what we want as a nation. By now, China shouldn't be the one giving us a clause signing off our sovereignty because they are lending us money or because they are doing project for us. Imagine they say Lagos alone generates about 40 billion monthly. So if you look at it all around the country, are we saying we don't have enough resources that we can use to develop our own infrastructure? Look at the quantum of amount of money we're discussing in NDDC that is being siphoned. Look at monies missing all over, everywhere. At some point, Sanusi, the former CBN governor, said about $20 billion was missing in NNPC, a contract that was signed. All these monies put together can actually develop the infrastructure of Nigeria. So what do we want as a country? What are the characteristics of success? That is chapter 3. If you see success in other countries, our governors, our leaders, they go to other countries. They queue. They are on the train. They behave like a common man. There's a leveler for everybody.
If you go to Rome, you behave like Romans.
Behave like Romans. So why can't we bring that behavior back into Nigeria and make our country, our society a sane place?
All right, before Kunle goes, can you say hello to Kunle? The lines are open 08091551055. You can also call 08056998678. Remember, you can speak on any of the subjects. Say hello to the radio station. Hello?
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Comrade Sade Modagbe from UI.
Comrade Sade Modagbe from UI.
With that said, can you say that are we not moving from fragile from faith state? That's one question. Secondly, I think the National Assembly should rise up to the expectation that to interrogate this beekeeping service chief. Because somebody was calling on radio that if Buhari should remove there, it's going to be overthrown. Thank you very much.
Hello. Okay, Sado Modagbe, you called. I'll be giving you a copy of Kunle's book, The Switch. That's for Sado Imodagbe. So Sado Imodagbe, you have a book from Kunle Jimba. It is entitled The Switch, Perspective to Success. Do we have another caller there? Hello?
How are you? My name is SB, your body from Africa.
Good to hear your voice.
I want to salute your courage of being a positive prophet. Hello?
You?
Yeah. I want to salute your courage for being a prophet that confesses positively about the future of our... There's nothing gets completely spoiled with God. I think that's the only consolation. Nothing gets completely spoiled with God.
All right. Thank you. You have made your point, sir. You have made your point.
I'm grateful.
Thank you. Yes, I also understand the fear of the future, no doubt. But the point it is defeatist. Are you saying Boko Haram cannot be defeated? Are you saying we cannot stamp out corruption? Are you saying we cannot build a Nigeria that can compete with China? Are you saying Nigeria cannot